Check. All right, guys, the microphones are back. So, rock and roll. Let's try this one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, it is time for Robcast Live number 3. Coming at you live, uncut and unbreak from Spreaker Studios and Robcast Radio. So here's Zombie, and here it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you once again for tuning in to Robcast Live. Coming at you live, uncut and unbraided from Spreaker Studios and Robcast Radio. And if you noticed, there are we don't have a whole lot of commercials or anything like that at the beginning of the show at this moment. But there will be soon, believe that. I just have to record a couple of commercials for sponsors, and I will throw them up. So thank you very much for tuning in. And as I like to always start off the show, guys, I just want to throw out a thank you. I would like to throw out a thank you to all of the military, all of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines. I just want to say thank you guys for your service. And I normally say thank you bad motherfuckers for keeping our country free. And I was going to keep the Robcast live with absolutely no profanity or anything like that. And I think whenever I was interviewing Chris Ryder, Die Ryder, a couple of F-bombs might have slipped out. I don't know. But guess what, guys? Rock and roll. We are going to just press on. We're gonna move forward. And I would also like to add, there's also a postscript to the thank you after I thank the military. I also like to thank the police officers. Every single show that I normally do, absolutely the Rob C. Zombie Show. That's the way we started out. Every single Rob C. Zombie Show. So we might as well go ahead and stick to that routine here. So thank you to the police officers, also firefighters and EMTs when everyone else is running away from danger. Guys, you are all trained to run into it, and for that, I give you respect. Tonight, I'll give you a call or text number, and that is... Well, let me go ahead and I'll intro out the show, and then I'll give out the call or text number, and anyone is welcome to call in or text, and we will take your call live on air. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about, throughout the show, we're going to talk a little bit about, well, we might vent about our day a little bit. I might tell you guys a joke. I could bring you some audio nuggets. I've been watching, the Hot Tub Time Machine and the Hot Tub Time Machine Part 2. So if you're a fan of those movies, I might throw you an audio nugget from one of those. You can follow the show right here at Spreaker Podcast. All you have to do is go to where it says info, click on my name, follow me, and it will let you know whenever we're going to do the show live, and you can comment right here on the show as we're doing it. However, I'm not so sure I figured out how to chat and all that kind of stuff. Wow, here we go. It says here to invite Facebook friends to chat. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I might try that on the next episode. We're going to talk a little bit tonight. It's Friday night and everybody's out having a good time, feeling good. Some of you guys could possibly be at work. And if you're at work, or if you're on your drive, if you're trying to get your workout, hey, if that guy just cut you off in traffic, give him a break. Every person has a bad day. And, sometimes you just got to take the higher road and not shoot somebody. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about alcohol. How do you feel about alcohol? How do you feel about marijuana? How do you feel about prescription drugs? How do you feel about medicine in general? I kind of look at medicine like, I wish it was a little bit more healing than treating everything with medicine. I wish that they treated the person as a whole and they didn't treat just the symptom. because that's really kind of how it works. You go in with the symptom and they treat the symptom. And I think even back in the older days, whenever the doctor would come to your house, whenever the doctor would make house calls, Dr. Smith that delivered a lot of my brothers and sisters, and I don't remember, of course, if he delivered me, they're all older than me, so I remember him whenever I was a little boy, Dr. Smith, and he would damn sure come to our house with this doctor's bag. And I think all of that has got left by the wayside. All of that's been left by the wayside with your neighbor waving at you. What's up with that? What's up with, when I wave at someone, or if you talk to someone in the grocery line, and they look at you like you've got some kind of disease that's like you want to talk to people disease. Yes, I do like spontaneous conversation. And, it's like, we were at the Kentucky Fried Chicken the other day, and you could tell that the people were really, no, I'm sorry, my bad. I take that back. We went to Whataburger, and it happened that at Whataburger they made a really good burger. It seemed like they really cared about what they were doing. Because how many times do you get a burger and it's got too much mayo, way too much sauce on it? It's a big sloppy mess. It's all sitting sideways and crushed in your bag when you get it home. They actually cared about what they did. So the next time I was in there, I told the manager, I said, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate someone. Hey, he was cleaning whenever I told him. I appreciated him making a good burger. Let's see. Let me check. See what we got going on here. We're going to do the show here tonight, guys, for, 30 minutes to an hour. The first, if you tried to get on here a minute ago, it was because we went live, and Flip Flop, the producer, it happens to be his day off, and I did not have a microphone working. Out of 3, none of them were working. So we were just dead air, and nobody really wants to hear that because we've all heard that radio show before. Pardon me, guys. Okay, so you're welcome to call in and let me know, what do you think about alcohol? What do you think about marijuana? And what do you think about prescribed drugs? You can call or text 979-331-5193, and that's where we'll take your call or your text. I'll read it out on air. And we'll talk a little bit today about, I may not be an authority on really the subject that we're talking about, but I guess I have had my run-in with prescription drugs. As a matter of fact, I was a slave to prescription drugs, to Vicodin pills. I used to take about 7 Vicodin pills and 3 Soma pills 3 times a day, which, if you do the math, that's about 900 prescription pills a month. No, I was never prescribed that much. That's some crack monkey math right there. And that's like probably a couple of houses that I ate like candy. And what did I learn from that experience? I learned, that I'm blessed every single day that I wake up. Because there's too many times that I took off down the road to drive, let's say, from here to Dallas, Texas, and drove 289 miles. And when I got there, between me and the person that drove, we left the car in the front of the hotel thinking that there was a valet, and the car was sitting there running all night long. And we didn't remember which one of us drove. So that kind of tells you a little bit of a story about...
Goodbye.
A little story about what happens whenever you just start taking a bunch of... Well, and it doesn't just start out with taking handfuls of prescription pills. It starts out with one weekend in Marble Falls at a motorcycle rally. A beautiful young lady asked me, she noticed that my mother had some prescription pills, and she knew specifically what they were, and she asked me to go get a couple of them and to join her in the hot tub. So that was my introduction. Well, that wasn't. I'm lying, guys. That was my introduction to pain pills, to like taking pain pills for the endorphins for the production of endorphins, taking pain pills for the production of endorphins unnaturally, rather than taking pain pills for pain. So that was a long, slippery road that turned from 1 or 2 pain pills a day to, like I said, 900 pain pills a month, and that lasted 8 or 9 years. So, like I said, it took counseling and a strong attitude that I just didn't want to die, mainly, and another thing that kind of helped boost me along was the fact that I was riding wheelies on a dirt bike, riding a particular wheelie on a 1974 Suzuki TS400 Widowmaker, showing off for some kids in this industrial park where my motorcycle dealership was. And lo and behold, I was probably going 55, 60 mile an hour, and it was the very last time I took a handful of Vicodin was when I rode a wheelie on that bike, and I ate it. I broke one of my legs and took all the skin off my shoulders, and I folded that bike in half. But I never took another Vicodin pill after that. So if that was my awakening, then I pray that everyone doesn't have to go through that, and I pray that anyone who might be struggling with that could seek out some kind of counseling. And just like everything else, taken in moderation. There's another podcaster that says, handle your bugs. It doesn't really matter what you do. You can get addicted to a lot of different things, and a lot of it can be really harmful for you. I'm sorry, guys. I got to see if I can turn
power on.
Other audio back on so that we can hear.
Your device is connected.
What's happening on the outside world, just in case. And we're talking also. I'm not going to say any names, but I met a gentleman the other day, and I noticed that he had a little thing that you smoke marijuana out of. Normally, the gentleman was not smoking marijuana out of it. He was smoking, quote unquote, legal weed. What is legal weed? Legal weed is something that's actually labeled as, what's it labeled as, guys? Incense. I think it's labeled as incense. And on the packaging it says not for human consumption. That's caused a lot of kids to do weird, freaky, deaky stuff. Let me tell you something, guys. I would stay miles and miles away from that junk. And the places where it's quote unquote legal, well, it probably won't be for long. And if it's legal as incense. It's not. It says right on the package, people, not for human consumption. Look at the chemicals and stuff that are in that junk. You see things like that, and that this gentleman has a good job out at Dow Chemical, which if you're one of my friends listening in New Jersey or over in Thailand, then guess what, guys? That's a chemical plant, and you probably know that. So in order to keep his job, because they do a hair follicle test to see whether or not you have THC in your system, then he smokes quote-unquote legal weed. And I don't really, my opinion on that is I would rather him smoke what he wants to smoke. Or what is, okay guys, in Canada, they've decided, it wasn't really, I guess it was like, not even decriminalized, but it was never illegal. Or maybe it was, I don't know. But what they're doing is they're regulating it. And just like they've done in Colorado. So what about, how is it that a guy in Colorado can have the same job? And it's legal, it's 100% legal for him to smoke marijuana. But the same guy has the same job, a couple of states away, And not only can he lose his job over it, he can go to jail for it. So